Hello, hi, what is going on? So weird, I'm backwards. Commentary Inception, here we go. Changing it up a little bit, not going live with this one, doing like a pre-recorded because I went live already and I don't want to. Changing it up. Cheers. This is a little bit different than the last two that I've posted. The last two have been MLM related, although I guess the one from earlier tonight about Jesse Lee isn't really MLM related. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's in an MLM except for, I guess, the influence. But this is going to be a little bit less that. And let's just jump right in. So, as usual, this is Commentary Inception. We're going to look at a video posted by Brett Cooper, who, interestingly enough, it's kind of Commentary Inception, multiverse verse esque because Brett Cooper's channel is based on comments, right? Like, so she plays the video and then she reads out the comments from the video. So she's kind of giving commentary on the comments. Then we're going to look at a video from Ben Shapiro, and we're going to look at another video about cultural appropriation. So, a couple of things. As a reminder, please be nice to each other. Definitely feel free to have open and honest dialogue in the comments, but don't be hateful, right? There's a difference, and we should be able to have conversation, and we should be able to disagree without hating each other. So if you are not sure about the difference there, maybe just message me, reach out to me. I am Going Gilland on Instagram. I'm Ashley Gilland on Facebook, and we are Commentary Inception here. So let's do it. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you can see it and hear it fine. And the shorts are small for whatever reason on YouTube. I don't know how to make it different than that, but it is what it is. So we're going to jump right in. So let's take a look at this one. The first one we're going to do is kind of a little bit lighthearted. Ben Shapiro reacts to man.
Do you know who the current vice president is? Who the current vice president is?
Hillary Clinton.
Say it.
Hillary Clinton. I don't know.
Yes. Can you name 3 countries in North America?
U.S.
Good.
China.
2. One more. One more.
Europe, I guess. No. Is it Europe?
Yes, 3. Nice. If it's Friday in New York City, then what day of the week is it in Mexico?
Friday. Hey. Tuesday.
Yes, you almost messed up.
Oh, our country is finished. That study, that American IQs, they've been declining. I believe that. Yes.
The brown ladies that.
All right, that was kind of funny, right? I like those videos where like people go out on the streets and ask questions. To be honest with you, there are some of them. There's a girl who goes out and asks questions that are like strictly about like American history. I'm terrible at them. Like what war was fought? Like I don't know stuff that I should definitely know, but I have forgotten. Or maybe I never like stored it to memory. I have no idea. But those questions obviously are pretty easy. Don't Google it, but name 3 countries in North America. Put it in the comments. Let's see if you can get it right. She was on. She had a good little start there, but she got derailed. The guy that said Friday, like what happened? He had it, and then he, I guess, figured it was a trick question, and got himself off. But anyways, those are fun for me. I think they're pretty funny. And Ben's comment about like, "Oh, we're finished," made me laugh. So I wanted to share that one. I am curious about like why we think that that's a thing, or has it always been a thing and we just didn't have people? It's probably what it is, right? This probably was the same thing in the 60s if somebody went down to the strip or wherever they were in that video and asked random young looking people, 19s, 20s, 22, 3, 4, 5 year olds, some of these questions. They may have gotten it wrong too. The difference, though, is that we now have the internet and the way to post this immediately online, and all of our dumbest moments are locked in forever. So curious to know if you think that this has always been the case and it just is now that we're able to expose it, or if truly like the IQ has declined so much in the country that this is no, we're finished, like Ben said. Kind of funny. All right. Let's move on to the next one. The next one we're gonna do, let's see, which one should we do? I think we won't do two trans ones in a row because I don't love that. So let's go woke daughters use a spray bottle to train their mother. Oh, I think the neighbors are getting into their room. It sounded like somebody was coming in here. All right. Woke daughters use a spray bottle to train their mother. This is a Brett Cooper.
To spray me. It makes me feel. It makes me.
Let's watch this.
To spray me. It makes me feel. It makes me feel about this big.
Yeah, that's how they feel when you misgender them. So now you can know the feeling. Just get it right, and you won't have to get sprayed.
Yeah, so here's what's going on. She is misgendering our partners, like my partner, my spouse, and then my sister's partner as well. Yeah, and she's known them for years and years. So we tried telling her nicely, and now we're balance training.
What? They are spraying their mom with water because she is misgendering their partner. So we need to like look at a picture of this mom. She's wearing like a pride shirt. I don't think that this woman has any malintent. She's probably just confused. And you're spraying her like you're training a dog. Somebody said, you know what? She raised two like that, the same arrogance and delirium. Maybe a little wake up water in the face is in order. I mean, I guess, but also it's just sad that these are your children and that's how they're choosing to treat you.
Do you know who the current vice president is?
All right. So gross.
To spray me. It makes me.
The mom says, please don't spray me. It makes me feel.
It makes me feel about this big.
Yeah, that's
it makes me. Okay, please don't spray me. It makes me feel about this big. So if you. Oh, I didn't even switch to show you guys that video. Well, shit. Okay, let's try that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's sorry. You just saw me sitting here like, oh, making all these faces. You have no idea what I was even reacting to. So I'm gonna start over. My apologies.
To spray me. It makes me feel. It makes me feel about this big.
Yeah, that's how they feel when you misgender them. So now you can know the feeling. Just get it right, and you won't have to get sprayed.
Yeah, so here's what's going on. She is misgendering our partners, like my partner, my spouse, and then my sister's partner as well. Yeah, and she's known them for years and years. So we tried telling her nicely, and now we're balance training.
What? They are spraying their mom with water because she is misgendering their partner. So we need to like look at a picture of this mom. She's wearing like a pride shirt. I don't think that this woman has any malintent. She's probably just confused. And you're spraying her like you're training a dog. Somebody said, you know what? She raised two like that, the same arrogance and delirium. Maybe a little wake up water in the face is in order. I mean, I guess, but also it's just sad that these are your children and that's how they're choosing to treat you.
Do you know who the current vice president is?
Yeah. So, I mean, a couple things here, right? Sorry about that. Sorry, I had to play it twice. So, a couple things. One, I believe 100% of the time that people's intention is the most important thing behind anything being said, right? So, I am with Brett on this one. If I have a hard time believing that that mother raised two people who are, I don't know, lesbian, gay, bisexual. I don't know, obviously, for sure, but two people who are dating people, married to people who don't align with their birth identity, with the identity gender that they were given at birth, right? So two people she's raised that are dating or married to people who do not align with their birth given gender, right? This woman raised those people and she is sitting wearing a pride shirt and maybe like a pride apron or something. I have a hard time believing, like Brett was saying, that her intention was to offend, hurt, demean, make feel small, right? She says, when you don't spray me when you do that, it makes me feel this big. I imagine she was like this big. And her kid said, well, that's how you make so and so feel when you do that to them. I don't think that that was her intention. And for me, that's the most important piece of the puzzle, right? Is the person saying its intention. So if I misgender somebody, if I call somebody a she when they want to be called a he, it is on accident. I would not do that on purpose, right? Now, we don't have to get into my beliefs, although we will a little bit in the next video or so. On this video, but on the next like commentary that I'm going to give. Um, I I think that more often times than not, right, it's confusion, especially for probably this mom here, right? So that there's first, like let's look at the intention, right, of why this is happening. Now, the person in the original video who was explaining or answering the question about like what is going on here, they're misgendering. The person in the flag shirt is misgendering, and she says, yeah, and she's known these people for a really long time and she refuses to stop doing it. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Um, but I mean, maybe it is her intention. Maybe she doesn't want to call these people a he when they're really in her mind a she. Maybe, right? And I think that that is what it is, right? It is never okay to spray your mother with a water bottle as if she is a dog. I don't know what balance training is, but I do know what spraying a dog with the water bottle, like with a spray bottle with water, is. I know what that is, right? So if like a dog pees on the floor, you spray them, or if a dog is licking you or scratching or barking or they're doing something that you don't like, you spray them with water and it makes them, stop immediately. That's what they're doing to their mother. Like, can you imagine? I cannot imagine living in a world where I would ever think it's acceptable to sit around, a fire or whatever and spray my mother with a water bottle because she's saying something. Let's take out the whole like gendering, misgendering, anything. Let's take out the conversation, right? Because I know that that's triggering and that's fine, right? Let's take that out of the equation and let's just say, like, what situation can you imagine where there is conversation that your mother is saying something in that spraying her with water is the solution to training her to stop saying it or to say something different? And let's take it a step back. Let's say a perfect stranger. Let's like not even say it's your mother. Let's say it's a perfect stranger. What world are you living in where spraying somebody with a water bottle is an acceptable way to train them to stop saying something that you don't like them saying? It's fucking wild to me. Wild. And that this girl person is like, well, we tried, it didn't work, so now we're doing this. Like that's okay. I'd be so ashamed. There's no way. One, I would never do that to my mom or anybody, but I would certainly not go on my TikTok. I think that's where that's from. And say that as if that I'm doing that as if it's like something that I want people to be like, yep, is what it is. She had it coming or whatever. It's wild. All right, on to the next one. Yay. I'm going to remember to actually share my screen this time. All right, on to the next one. Where are we going to go next? Let's see. Let's shrink this down. What have we done? We did bin reacts and we did woke daughters use a spray bottle to train their mother. Oh, there was a comment in there from that Brett Cooper read that said something like, if this mom raised these two people, then maybe that's what she needs. Again, never ever in my mind is there a circumstance in which that is acceptable. That's wild. Never ever. All right, let's do trans women can't have periods, period. The comment section with Brett Cooper. So this is another Brett Cooper video. Here goes. This is Brett reacting to other reaction videos. Again, commentary, Inception. It's fun.
Just a PSA to all my fellow trans girls out there on estrogen. We do, in fact, get periods. Hey, dolls. So I get a lot of these questions, whether they're satire or not. So I'm going to tell you guys my first period story.
I hate this video.
Why? Stop.
The side effects of being on estrogen and trying to destroy your body are not the same as having a period. That's like saying, oh my God, my body aches when I have a cold and it also aches when I'm on my period. I guess they're the same thing. They're not. Somebody said they're making fun of us at this point. Literally, yes. Another person said they need to see a therapist ASAP. Well, most of the therapists they're seeing these days are enabling that, so maybe not.
Just brain me.
All right. So another apology for that ridiculous. Use banners to summarize your talking points and display calls to action. It's StreamYard. I'm new. I'm a newbie. I didn't even realize it was there. I just like start talking and I don't even notice stuff. Okay. So interesting, right? This is I'll make sure that this
Just
one
a
is what's
PSA
showing.
to
All right. So generally speaking, I take a stance of, what people do in their own time away from me is on them. I don't care. Or even around me. I don't care that much, right? I don't care. I have no problem with wi- let's see. I have no problem with grown women or grown men transitioning. I don't have any problems with that. I feel like it's your life. You can make the decisions that you want to make and what you feel like you need to do to be the safest, happiest, and healthiest human that you need to be. I believe that. I have no problems with adult people transitioning. Now, it is annoying to me when I see these videos like the last one that was shown of a grown person rolling around on their bed with a heating pad, like groaning in pain. I don't know what estrogen does to a person. I don't know if it truly does make a person feel like they're similar to how it feels when a woman is on their period, right? The cramps, the bloating, the exhaustion, whatever. I don't know. Maybe that is true. Now, do I think that it is an overreaction? And one of the comments that Brett reacted to said, like, now they're just making fun of us, right? And I think it was probably a woman saying that she felt as if we were being mocked, like that women are being mocked. It does feel a little bit like satire, and it does feel a little bit like a a reenactment of something that somebody saw in some movie. Um, Again, I don't know what that person was feeling. I don't know what estrogen does to a person's body. I don't know if it causes cramps. I do know that I read in the comments, but again, it's everybody's different. I read in these comments, somebody said something about, I now take estrogen to help with the side effects of menopause. HRT does not cause you to have cramps or experience periods. Or experience period symptoms. So, maybe that's true. This comment right here is kind of where I line up, I think. As a woman who actually gets a period, this is disrespectful. I don't know. Annoying is the word I would use. I'm literally wasting at least 2 days in bed or forcing myself to work while high on painkillers to cope with the pain every month. It's not a casual thing, nor is this a placebo personality trait these trans women should go on about. I support trans women, but there are things only biological women experience. If one more person says a period is a state of mind, I'm gonna freaking lose it. I'm currently dying on my period with the worst headache ever. It's actually so upsetting that they try to take everything from us. If they're bleeding from their bottom area, they need to see a proctologist because bleeding hemorrhoids can be very serious. Um, I'm a straight white male and I cannot get periods. Them saying I get a period is like me saying, "Oh, my bladder is stinging, therefore I'm getting my first period. Oh my god, it hurts." Um, my parents gave me the option to see a therapist. Maybe I'll take them up on that offer. I don't know. Okay, so fudge. I forgot again to switch to the comments. I was reading the comments here, right? I will get better at this, I promise. These are the comments on her video. So comments to the comments to the comments, and I'm commenting on them. And this is the video right here, right? The comment that I was kind of reacting to. I'm literally wasting at least 2 days in bed, forcing myself to work while high on painkillers to cope with the pain every month. It's not a casual thing. So I saw this video and saved it to react to when I was starting my period. I have very bad periods. I spend at least, well, many, many hours the first 2 days in the bathtub, kind of bleeding out so that then I can go on about my life. It is not fun. It fucking sucks. I have very bad headaches. I just feel exhausted. I could literally sleep for 72 hours straight. It's not great. And to be honest with you, if these people are feeling this, I know they're not bleeding, right? Like, that's wild. Stop saying that you're not. Stop it. But if these people are feeling this because of the estrogen that they're taking, I feel terribly for them. And that sucks. But I don't, why would they want it? Why would you want to do that? It just does. I just don't get it. And I do feel a little bit like it's like a parody, like we're being mocked kind of as women, and that sucks. But again, I don't know what it is like to be on estrogen. I just do know that as a woman who for many years, because I'm old as dirt at this point, has had their period every single month. It just kind of sucks to feel like we're being made fun of by somebody rolling around on a bed with a heating pad, like moaning because they got their first period or whatever. I don't know. I don't love it. It sucks. Like, can we just have one thing? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's going to come for me. I'm sure I'm going to lose some friends over this. I hope that you hear me when I say that this is not coming from a place of hate. I just don't understand it. And I do feel like, so there are a couple of times where somebody somewhere will over exaggerate something to the point that you're like, okay, stop it, right? And then what happens is it illegitimizes the stuff that is real, right? So if I say, you know, oh, I can't think of an example right now, but I'll try to say it again, maybe if it comes to me. But what I'm trying to say is if you take everything, then the stuff that is really, really important, or if you hit like every single thing, even the most outrageous stuff, it takes away from the stuff that is really important. Here we go. So the message that you're trying to get across, if you are, um, I, Hmm. Unless the important thing for a transgendered person is the fact that they got their period, why is that what you're focusing on? Like, why can't it be the fact that, you are transitioning and you're so happy to feel like you are in the body that you've always wanted to be in? Why does it also have to be and you got your period? Like, why isn't it enough to celebrate the fact that you are woman appearing and that you know are coming into your own and that you're presenting as a woman like you want to? Why do you also then have to mock or mimic what it is like to be on your period? Women don't go onto socials and roll around or show blood clots that we're passing, right? That would be disgusting. People would be like, figure it out, right? We've basically been told to suck it up and go on about your lives for years and years and years. And every month at work, we have to do that, right? So, why would you, if you are wanting to be a woman and you are becoming a woman, why are you cartoonizing the quiet parts, the stuff that we've just kind of suffered in silence with, right? Does that make sense? Like, I don't understand why, if what you want to be as a woman and you are, right, becoming a woman, go live your life like a woman then. And living your life like a woman is not getting to go on to socials and have people feel sorry for you because you're cramping, right? Suck it up, buttercup. This is what you wanted, right? So it's frustrating because I don't understand, one, part of me feels like it's a lie, and so that's offensive. But if it's not a lie, even though everything that I see everywhere says that it is, right? And there are certain things that medically just don't make sense, right? But so it feels like it's mockery, like it's not real. But let's say that it is real, and if it is real, then it's a quiet thing that women have to deal with. So you should deal with it quietly, because if you don't, then you're making it like a gag. I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that this does not seem to be hateful, because I don't mean it hateful. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next. All right, so it looks like I'm sharing my screen already. That's great. There's no weird banners on here. I think I have one more. We'll stop talking about trans people because it's not my intention, right? Obviously, to just do that. Let's go to Adam Calhoun roasts. Oh yeah, I don't think I even did like the comments. Oh, yes, I did do the comments. All right. Adam Calhoun roasts dude picking on little girl. Again, let's make sure I'm sharing my screen and let's hit this last one.
The brown ladies that like they have their the brown ladies that like they have their hair braided each little sections, and I want you to do that with my hair.
Yeah, no, you don't get to appropriate people's culture just because you think it looks pretty.
Hey, dog, that's a little baby. That's a little girl. She's just trying to feel pretty. Cultural appropriation. Shut the fuck. You think you're the first person that ever wore your hair in braids? Your hair are Vikings, Native Americans. What about black women wearing blonde weaves? Are they appropriating white people's culture? You don't see very many black people with natural blonde hair. That's a little baby girl, dog. Welcome to America, a melting pot of all different types of cultures. Stop acting like a little sissy.
All right. I don't okay, this video, when I saved it over, this was the first Adam Calhoun video I had ever seen. I don't know who this guy is, but when he says, "That's a little girl, that's a baby, dude," like, she's just trying to feel pretty. I felt like such strong dad vibes. It made my heart happy, right? So, I am, obviously a white woman. I am white appearing, and I am white. Shocker, I don't know if you guys knew that. I am a white female. And what is it? White cisgendered female. I was born this way. I am still this way. Um, that so I don't know what it feels like to have your culture appropriated by way of braids. And I had never actually thought about the fact that like you don't let that black women, any woman that is not white, any woman, period, um, can wear a blonde wig, right? Or color their hair blonde, and that could be cultural appropriation because not many African American people of color, excuse me, are born with blonde hair. I had never heard that before, so that was kind of an interesting spin. I know that probably something to be said for the fact that you can't appropriate white culture. I don't know if that's true. I'm not very learned in this stuff. That will probably be very apparent with his commentary. I want to kind of keep it like off the cuff. It's commentary inception. It's just my thoughts on the thoughts of the people providing their thoughts, right? It's not a deep dive into anything that I have studied. I am happy to learn. I would love it. It's not your responsibility to teach me, obviously, but if you have opinions, thoughts on this stuff, and you want to drop it in the comments, I am open to taking it and then going and doing my research. Again, it's not your responsibility to educate me, but if you feel like throwing stuff out there, I would love to hear it. But that video to me, I loved it. I loved that he was just like, dude, that's a little girl. Because honestly, like, it's a little girl. When did kids have to start knowing that wanting braids is cultural appropriation? Like, when I was growing up, love and basketball was my jam. I loved, let's see, Jagged Edge. Alvin Iverson was like my man, whatever. And if somebody had said to me because I was talking a certain way after watching those movies or listening to that music or dressing a certain way that I was appropriating Black culture, I would have been devastated because back to what I was saying at the beginning, right? I believe 100% that in addition to what people say being most important, their intention, what people do also, right? That little girl's intention is not to appropriate culture. Now, I know that somebody will say something about like ignorance is not bliss, right? If you're speeding 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, you get pulled over and you say, I didn't know. That doesn't mean that there's a legal term there, right? But whatever, you guys get what I'm saying. Just because you didn't know doesn't mean that it's acceptable. However, I believe that for a little girl, I don't know how old that little girl is, but I'm behind Adam Calhoun on this, right? She's a baby. She's a little girl. She thinks it's pretty. Well, so there's that, first of all. Second of all, isn't that a compliment? Like, isn't what do they say? Like copying somebody is the biggest form of flattery. Like imitation is the biggest form of flattery or whatever it is. Like that little girl sees these women with braids and she thinks that they're beautiful and it's pretty and she wants to dress like them and have her hair like them. And isn't that a compliment? Like whenever if somebody said like, "Mom, I really remember that girl that I or that woman that I saw. I really want to have red hair like her because it was so pretty, or I really want to have tattoos because they were so pretty or whatever." That to me is like it's flattery. It's so sweet, right? It's a compliment. And I don't really understand like why what did he say? Let's go back. What exactly did this man say? He said,
The brown ladies that like they have their hair braided each little sections, and I want you to do that with my hair.
Yeah, no, you don't get to appropriate people's culture just because you think it looks pretty.
Hey, dog, that's a little baby. That's a little girl. She's just trying to feel pretty. Cultural
right. You don't get to appropriate people's culture just because you think it's pretty. Did I really not switch that over again? Why am I such an idiot? Why is this like it's my very first day? Because it is.
The brown ladies that like they have their hair braided each little sections, and I want you to do that with my hair.
Yeah, no, you don't get to appropriate people's culture just because you think it looks pretty.
Hey, dog, that's a little baby. That's a little girl. She's just trying to feel pretty. Cultural
Right. Right. I think that she does get to appropriate people's culture because she thinks it's pretty. I don't know. Maybe I need to do some research on what exactly culture appropriation is, but in my opinion, um, if what she is asking to do, she's asking her mom to braid her hair like the brown ladies that she sees who she thinks are so pretty, then I think she gets to do that. If that's cultural appropriation, then I have no problem with it. My guess is that that might not be cultural appropriation because I think that that's a bad thing. And I don't feel like what she's asking to do is a bad thing. I feel like she just wants to be pretty and that's a good thing. So there's that. I think that's it. I think we hit all the videos. We went for it. We hit up a little Ben Shapiro, Brett Cooper, and this Adam Calhoun guy who maybe I'll listen to some more of his stuff, right? So there's that. Hopefully nothing about this video comes across as hateful to you. I certainly am of the belief that people should be able to do what it is that they want to do with their full grown adult bodies, and we should not be mean. I also believe though that there is a need for people to be honest about what they are experiencing. I believe that people should be allowed to question things without having to fully go with them 100% just because somebody said so. I also believe that if little girls want to braid their hair, they should be allowed to do that without feeling any kind of way about it, and it should be fine. And I'm not sure if the IQ is declining rapidly in this country, um, but shout out to those people who answered the questions. You know, in all fairness, if you can't name 3 countries in North America, you are not allowed to shade them for missing any of the questions at all, because hey, it's hard, right? History, geography, shit's hard. Trivia. So, anyways, that is it. This is commentary inception. This is the kind of stuff that we will continue to do. If you caught the first video, it was literally just a reaction to somebody being mean, what I felt like was mean to somebody in the comments on a TikTok video. This one is commentary inception with transgendered people having their periods and culture appropriation. So, we are going to go from one end to the other. I have no intention of this becoming anything political. I have no intention of this being anti MLM. I have no intention of this being pro MLM or, a place for conservatives to come together and be haters or the opposite of that. So I'm hoping that we can change this up very, very regularly and that this is fun for everybody. So please don't leave hate in the comments. Say whatever you need to say. Just remember that the intention behind your words and your actions is the most important thing. So there's that. I love you all very, very much. I hope that you do know that. And I think that's it. Be nice to each other. It's the most important thing that we can do always. And